There's a moment in life where there's this intersection that you can become the best in the world at what you do. It's something that you love to do, and you can get paid well for doing it. And this is what great real estate agents really understand, is it's about building a team for growth. Whenever I walk into a business, I say, who are you and what do you do here? And how people explain what they do determines just how great they are at it. Now think about that. There's an old school story about three bricklayers, and you walk up to the bricklayers and say, hey, what do you do? And the first person says, oh, I lay bricks. And you go to the second person, hey, what do you do? Oh, I build walls. And you go to the third bricklayer, hey, what do you do? I build cathedrals. How you think about the work and what you do determines the way that you approach it. And this is an interesting conversation is if you got to call your PA a PA or an EA, or at the end of that, you have that cold conversation that they're in admin, it hardly sounds aspirational. But if they're at the head of your customer success, about making the customer successful in everything they do, then they know that they've literally got to make sure they dot I's, cross T's, and deliver consumer experience. If that additional team member that you've got is someone who's a buyer's agent, then all they ever do is work with buyers, but they never think to find sellers because they're not a listing agent in their own mind. So rather than calling them a buyer's agent, what would actually just shift if you actually just had that conversation, we just called them an agent. And this is such an important conversation because someone who knows that they're out there to prospect, list, and sell, they find sellers. And I'd rather you starting to think about someone who's in your team as an agent is actually someone who's capable of prospecting, listing, and selling. And that's actually really what you want. And this is an interesting conversation because at Macca's, the 14-year-old makes the decision if the fries go out. So inside of your business, are you literally at that position that every single day there are people that are rushing at you thousands of times a day to find out if the fries can go out because you haven't let go to grow, because you haven't given the title, but most importantly, the responsibility to those people to make sure that they are consistently prospecting, listing, and selling, or being in a position that they deliver that customer experience. And this is such an important conversation because about building a team for growth, it's really starting to think bigger about you being really clear about the role that you play in the team so you can specialize and do that seriously well. And then putting people around you so you've got other people that can literally take the heat away from you so that you can do what you do well and they can absolutely play at their best in their own specific part of the workflow. That's what great agents do. They start thinking very differently that literally you can do 20 transactions and be in struggle street trying to work out how to get a listing and how to make a sale and never really get that level of momentum. Or you can start thinking about what a business would look like at 40, 50, 80, 100 plus transactions per year. And you can build a team of winning people around you so that you can be out there in that marketplace to really scale and to grow. And this is such an interesting conversation because the body won't go where the mind won't take it, and the business won't grow where we don't dream that it will go. And this is that whole conversation that now more than ever before, you've got to start thinking, who are the people that you've got in your team? What role do they play? How well are they playing in that particular role? And what would actually happen if they become the world's best at playing that role whilst they work on the inside of your own business? You do that, you absolutely own the entire environment that you operate in. Now more than ever before is the time to build a team for growth.